Hello everyone, we're going to go over my class projects. First, we're going to start with the research paper. The big idea I chose was big idea number 7, Earth Systems and Patterns. My standards were for pre-kindergarten. I used demonstrates knowledge related to living things and their environments, and also demonstrates knowledge related to the dynamic properties of Earth and sky. I had to do some research and gather some information on the Earth 4 main systems. One is the geosphere, rock, soil, mountains, biosphere, all living things, atmosphere, air and other gases, hydrosphere, all bodies of water, and that includes ice with its own sphere called cryosphere. The main content of this big idea is the ever-changing properties of Earth systems while looking at them through their connection with patterns such as water cycle and life cycle. We're going to go over some of the resources I found. This one is more for older students or adults. This is the one that I use to gather some information on the Earth systems. I use the National Geographic webpage. They have their own article on the Earth systems. Then I chose a more kid-friendly if kids or older students are doing their own research. This one starts here. It had different segments. That's one of the things I liked about it. It starts with an overall information about Earth systems. I like the visuals it used for the kids to see. Then it goes over, you can click on the next page, and it'll explain the connection between all of the Earth systems, and then it go over each of them individually. Then I picked a couple of games. Again, I'm primary teacher, so game is a big part of my classroom, and this one was pretty simple. It'll go over kind of like visuals and then vocabulary. You have to match them. And here I have 2 pictures. Let me see if I found biosphere. Then you have to find one that relates to living things. Let's see, biosphere. Now, there you go, flower, biosphere. And it will let you know when you have a match. Then the second game is more for older kids. You pick one, I'll ask you a question. Then you can see the answer. And you can keep track of the teams. You can have more than 2 teams. I just picked 2 just as sample. And you can keep track of the points of each team. This was another site that I found that also had videos, and it'll briefly go over some explanation. As the kids read, they can watch the videos. So that's what I like about that one. Those videos you can also find in YouTube, but I picked the webpage again because it has some reading into it, and the videos come without any commercials or anything like that. Those were my resources. Now for literacy connections, these were some of the books. I picked 3 books. One is titled All the Water in the World by George Allen Lyon. Rocks, Hard, Soft, Smooth, and Rough by Natalie Rosinsky. And Are You Living? A song book about living and non-living things by Lara Salas. All of these books are kind of like primary. They're very simple to read. Has tons of visuals and pictures. That's why I chose them, for the kids to be engaged and interested in them. Some of my lesson plans, let's go over them. I chose this website because it has a lesson plan kind of like broken down into what preschool would do, and it is a preschool lesson plan. It just goes into introduction to the activities, a read aloud. If you click on it, it'll take you to the book. Then it'll go over some like class discussions, some guided questions that you can have the kids discuss about. Then it'll go over some of the vocabulary words. It has then doing a whole group activity with cotton balls and water for them to kind of like understand the concept of clouds. Some language arts, you can tie it up with the letters that you're focusing on, beginning sounds. And then an art activity, which we always do in preschool. Nursery rhymes as well. Don't mind the bottom, it's Bible stories, it's optional. We're not going to do that in school. Then my next lesson plan website. It's mainly for centers. We do have a sensory table at school, so this is why I chose this one, and it's exploring rocks. So I love it. It kind of like gives you a background of all the materials that you can use in the sensory table, what you can add, some of the questions that you can ask the kids as they're working in the sensory table, and how to set it up. All right, let's go over to the next slide. Let's see here. Some of the misconceptions for this content is the distinction between some of the earth systems. Again, just breaking it down real simple for my pre-K kids or even primary. Also, the earth has different earth systems or spheres that correspond to a large area or parts of the earth, and therefore our actions only affect only one system or area. This is a misconception that kids can have, and that you can work with older kids as well to kind of like make class projects and those type of questions on like how we can create things to help the environment. The other misconception is all clouds are rain clouds, and we can address that in the classroom by making activities and discussing them, the different layers of clouds. And let's continue. All right, some of the media, I found 2 videos. Now going back, I found out that the science kit, or at least this episode about soil, which I had put into this lesson, was removed. So right now I'm just going to show you the Magic School Bus and where I got it from. Okay, here it is. The website is called Daily Motion. This episode is just, I found this one that was related to my topic. And there's other episodes as well. Sometimes I do not find them on YouTube, so this is just a good website that if you guys want to incorporate the Magic School Bus into some of your content, this is where you can find it. Okay, let's go to the next slide. All right, now my next assignment was the field trip assignment. I chose Philippi Park and Safety Harbor. And again, I tied it back to my research paper, my Big Idea 7 of Earth systems. That park is next to the water. You can see the water next to it, all the plants, the soil, the atmosphere. So this is why I chose this park. And again, I tied it down with that lesson plan. Here's some information about the park ranger phone number. For field trips, the park doesn't, it's not, the bathrooms are not open during the week, only during the weekend. But if you're having a field trip and you contact the park ranger, they will be able to have the bathrooms open for your kiddos on that day. Some of the learning target for this field trip was Earth systems and patterns and organization and development of living organisms. This field trip will focus on the different Earth systems. Again, we went over it before, geosphere, biosphere, all those. The preschool standards that I chose were the same ones from the research paper. And here's some optional kindergarten standards if you guys want to do it in kindergarten. And if there's some kids that are absent, or if you're not able to do the field trip, this is a cool alternative to do it. I found a Josemai virtual field trip. If you go to the website, let me show you. Here it is. It's just a cool alternative. And that's something that even if you do go to the park, you can go back and revisit and kind of have those class discussions. I think this is pretty cool. There we go. Again, a lake, kind of like making those connections of all of the Earth systems. Let's go to the next assignment. Oh, Okay, this was my video project. I did it based on the big idea number 5, Earth and Space and Time. My standards were based on kindergarten standards. I chose recognize the repeating pattern of day and night, and observe this. Sometimes the moon can be seen at night and sometimes during the day. Here's my video. I'm not going to show all of it. It's 5 minutes long, but I just used a lot of props. Yeah, it's an orange and a lemon. And just kind of like show the kids through my props. So that was my video project. Now for my culturally responsive assignment, I chose Sally Ride. She was an astronaut and astrophysicist. Here's some information about her. Her research area was science and space exploration. I chose her because she was the first American woman in space. She created STEM programs, professional development, junior academy, and scholarships to encourage young girls. And now it has expanded to both boys and girls. She wrote 7 children's books. So just based on that, that's why I chose her. Most importantly, because she started just by doing all of her work to encourage young girls to pursue science careers. My video game vignette, the grade level that I chose was pre-K. My standard was physical science, explore and investigate objects that require positioning and movement through play. My topic was direction of movement in objects when these are obstacles. So I just chose already made online game and asked some guided questions. Just kind of like asking the students which direction should I move the box around, on top, all those vocabulary words. All right, that was it, friends. Thanks for watching. Bye.